Every campaign comes with promises, but when it's Donald Trump, those promises come with thunder. From rebuilding the economy to shutting down the deep state, Trump's 2024 campaign is packed with bold declarations. But here's the big question. If he wins, can he actually deliver this time? With a nation more divided than ever, a Democratic-controlled Senate a possibility, and legal battles mounting, can Trump turn slogans into reality in 2025? Let's explore what he's promised and what might actually happen. Section 1. A History of Promises. Trump's Track Record. Let's start by looking back. During his first run in 2016, Trump promised a border wall across the southern U.S., repeal and replacement of Obamacare, bringing back American manufacturing jobs, cutting taxes and regulations, draining the swamp in Washington. Some of those promises were fulfilled. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017 lowered corporate and personal tax rates. Parts of the border wall were built. Deregulation across many federal agencies took place, but others fell short. Obamacare wasn't repealed, and attempts to replace it failed in Congress. The swamp wasn't drained. Instead, Trump's administration had high turnover and ethics controversies. Manufacturing jobs grew briefly, then declined during the pandemic. So his track record is mixed. Some wins, some stalled, and some abandoned. Will 2025 be any different? Section 2. Trump's 2024 Promises. What's on his agenda? Heading into the next election, Trump's promises are louder and more sweeping. Mass deportations and full border control. A 10% universal tariff on all imports. Ending the Ukraine war. In 24 hours. Rebuilding law and order in American cities. Firing thousands of federal workers and expanding presidential control. Protecting traditional values in schools and media. These aren't just tweaks. They're foundational shifts in how America operates. But can one man deliver it all? Section 3. Legal and political roadblocks ahead. Here's where it gets tricky. Trump will face serious challenges, even if he wins. Congress, Republicans may not control both chambers. A Democratic Senate or moderate Republicans could block his agenda. Courts. Many of his executive orders and policies will be challenged in federal courts. The judiciary isn't guaranteed to back him. State-level resistance. Blue states like California and New York may simply refuse to enforce controversial federal policies, like deportation raids or education mandates. Civil service rules. Trump can't just fire every federal employee. Civil service protections are in place, and sweeping personnel purges could spark constitutional crises. His ability to follow through depends not only on winning, but on how much power he can actually wield once back in office. Section 4. Immigration, Promise versus Reality. Trump's biggest headline promise is a mass deportation campaign, potentially affecting millions of undocumented immigrants. Can he actually do it? Not easily. Mass deportations require massive funding, new detention centers, and legal support. Sanctuary cities will resist. Cooperation courts will likely challenge the legality of blanket deportation orders. Civil unrest and protest could erupt nationwide. He may increase ICE activity and enforce stricter border policies, but fulfilling the entire promise? Highly unlikely, unless Congress gives him the green light. Section 5. The Economy, Trump's Tariff Gamble. Trump wants to introduce a 10% universal tariff and impose even higher duties on China. Will this boost American jobs? Maybe, but with serious side effects. Economists warn this could increase consumer prices, especially on electronics, clothing, and cars. U.S. exporters may face retaliatory tariffs. Global trade relations could suffer, especially with allies like the EU and Canada. Trump says it will make America rich again. But without targeted industrial policy and workforce retraining, the tariff plan could backfire. So yes, he could implement the tariffs, but the economic outcome might not match the promise. Section 6. Draining the swamp. Can he really purge the bureaucracy? Trump has pledged to fire career officials, install loyalists, and give the presidency more power. Can he do that? To a degree, especially if he reintroduces Schedule F, a policy that would reclassify tens of thousands of federal workers and make them easier to fire. But this move would trigger legal battles, erode trust in federal institutions, possibly lead to mass resignations and a weaker federal system. The public reaction could be fierce. Trump might reshape some agencies, but a full purge would be chaotic and likely blocked in courts. Section 7. Global policy, fast fixes, or fantasy. Trump has claimed he can end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours. Even supporters know that's optimistic. At most, he might pull back U.S. military aid, push Ukraine to negotiate, try to pressure NATO and European countries to take the lead. But this wouldn't end the war. It would shift the balance, possibly favoring Russia. Critics say it could damage U.S. credibility and weaken support for democracy abroad. Trump also vows to get tough on China and renegotiate trade deals. But that's a years-long process, not a quick fix. Section 8. What will he actually do? Here's what Trump could realistically deliver in his first year. Executive orders on immigration, energy, and federal spending. Tariff increases on imports. Pressure on schools and media through Department of Education policies. Expedited oil and gas permits. Aggressive reshuffling of federal staff. But bigger promises, mass deportations, ending wars, restructuring government, will take time, legislation, and legal battles. He might start them, but finishing them? That's another story. Can Trump deliver in 2025? Trump's 2024 campaign is filled with big ideas and bold language, and while he might deliver on some of his promises, the path is littered with political, legal, and logistical landmines. His base believes he's the only one strong enough to get it done. His critics argue that many promises are impossible or dangerous. In the end, Trump may win the presidency, but keeping every promise? That's a battle even he might not be able to win.